Mental health. Today, it has become more important than ever because of the fact that one's emotional, psychological, and social well-being ultimately affects how one thinks, feels, and acts. But it wasn't always this way. According to a timeline published by the Public Broadcasting System, ancient Egyptian, Indian, Greek, and Roman writings from 400 BC revealed the first documentations of mental illness. For a majority of time after that, mental illness treatment was inadequate and the importance of mental health was often overlooked. In the United States, the establishment of the National Mental Health Association in 1909 and the signing of the Mental Health Act in 1946 proved to be steps in the right direction in helping address this issue. By now you're probably wondering, so what does this have to do with the Placemaking project? Well, with such an extensive history of mental health in the United States, wouldn't this be enough evidence for proper mental health and counseling services on a college campus? Apparently not. At UCLA, the Office of Counseling and Psychological Services, or CAPS, helps students with mental health problems or disabilities in order to support their development, empowerment, and success. But its location and overall presentation is somewhat subpar. Accessing CAPS involves entering an awkwardly shaped, cramped lower floor and ascending a towering, industrial-looking staircase just to get to the waiting area. Unused chairs and other cluttered-looking items are crammed under the staircase, further adding to the uncomfortable environment. Usually, the small front desk on the bottom floor is unoccupied, causing confusion as to where first-time visitors should go in order to receive help. Improving this bottom floor experience by making the space warmer and more welcoming would benefit the overall effectiveness of the CAP space, making the sense of place in the building more conducive to improving one's mental health. Improving the effectiveness of CAPS would also be in the best interest of UCLA administration and other faculty, as it would create a university environment in which students are more mentally prepared for the rigor of classes and college life. It's easy to say that we are being too critical of CAPS, and this isn't a real problem. But look no further than our school newspaper, the Daily Bruin. They have published various articles about CAPS, their lack of funds, physical space, and staff needed to properly accommodate the student body. The Daily Bruin also produces online podcasts that are later posted onto SoundCloud. One in particular is titled In the Know, and in their 4th episode they talked about UCLA's counseling crisis. And actually, I'll let them take it away.
There's about 6 therapists available to complete these screenings, and even then, CAPS has trouble retaining clinicians. There's also issues with funding and space. CAPS primarily receives its funding from student fees, which clearly aren't enough to keep clinicians long-term at the facility. And even if they did receive more funding, there isn't enough office space to house these clinicians.
In case that wasn't enough, we also conducted a survey and had it distributed to UCLA students in hopes to get their sincere opinions about CAPS. When asked if the first floor of CAPS was welcoming or inviting, 92.3% of surveyed participants answered no. And when asked if they were satisfied with CAPS services, 75% of participants responded no as well. In our survey, we also asked participants what aspects they would find comforting to improve the overall CAPS experience, and some answers included a brighter, more finished-looking first floor, a different color scheme / paint the walls, some plants or paintings, and a diffuser to make it smell better. Someone at the front desk to greet you and guide you about CAPS services, and easier to find. We plan to improve the CAPS experience by completely renovating certain areas of the building, most notably the bottom floor. Good first steps would include repainting the walls with brighter colors, removing the clutter, and changing the industrial vibe of the area. Potted plants and open windows would create a healthier feeling, and scent diffusers could help to appeal to more visitor senses. Having a volunteer on duty at all times to occupy the front desk would give visiting students a face to interact with at first, as well as increase volunteering and community engagement within CAPS, spreading awareness of the importance of mental health. Hopefully, the volunteer could also make the elevator more available to students rather than having the elevator sit behind the desk unnoticed, reducing the need for the staircase. We decided to take this one step further and ask a professional for their opinion about the implementations we envisioned for CAPS and whether or not they would be effective. We had the honor to speak to Dr. Vangala, a practicing psychiatrist from Orlando, Florida.
How can the design of a space affect the mood or mental health of a person? Would a dull, unfinished-looking space create a negative impact on someone seeking help?
Yes, lighting, the color or temperature, comfortable seating, and nice light music, All these things can be relaxing.
Are there any specific lighting, music, or color suggestions you would say are more preferable to create a safe, comforting space?
In general, the red and those colors are counted as, a little bit aggressive, or black, or darker shades for more depressive symptoms. But colors like light green or light yellow may be soothing, and even light blue, such as sky blue, can be soothing too. In general, not to have a very bright colors. Avoiding bright colors is good.
At the end of the day, we aren't solving the problems surrounding how our country views or handles mental health. In all appearances, we're just redesigning a building. But maybe it starts with a building. Maybe one room leads to two, and two leads to a larger number of people educated in mental health. And maybe from there, administration will recognize the need for expansion and focus on our counseling center. Our vision for the CAPS building is only the start in what we hope will be a chain reaction within the mental health community. There needs to be a change. We know that. And as students paying for these services with our tuition, we have a right to be a part of that change.